Today I'm playing some of the best Football Manager mobile games to find out just how good they really are. We're starting off with New Star Manager. This is a bit of a hybrid between being a manager, being the chairman, and also playing FIFA to an extent. So I've just started up a new save here basically and gone through the tutorial. So this is our stadium that we've got right now. It's pretty small, but you have the ability to click into the stadium. You know, we can improve the pitch a little bit if we want to have a nicer pitch. In fact, it's nice it shows you the preview actually, so you can see how good we can make this pitch further down the line. We've also got the ability to upgrade stands. We can make a corner stand and get it all really nice. I like the idea of spending 3 million on just a big corner stand and having the rest of the stadium as it is. I think actually, if you look at the preview for the main stand, you can make this an awful lot bigger and go for a full stadium rebuild, which is really cool. You've also got your training facilities, fitness facilities, youth facilities, which we don't have yet. So let's build those actually, because that would, oh, that's really quick as well. Is that just going to take a minute? I assume one just means a minute, but it could mean 1 hour, could mean 1 day, could mean 1 week. We've got medical facilities, scouting facilities, and a club shop as well. So you can have a lot of granular control over your club and what you want to invest in and make better. This is our squad of players that we've got right now. As you can see, the starters aren't actually that great. You can see our left back is 15 rated, our centre back is 16 rated. A lot of very highly rated players are on the bench, but that's because I've been playing them recently in matches and they're a little bit tired. Anyway, this is where it's kind of like Football Manager meets FIFA. We've got this game coming up away at Dagenham and Redbridge. There's our lineup getting ready for the game. Beautiful stuff. Or is that our lineup? Now I think we're in the, that might be us. Mate, ooh, I don't know what kit we're playing in. I should have paid attention to that. Oh no, we are in the white. So basically we're going to click play and then text comes through to just sort of update us on what's going on in the game. But when a highlight comes, oh, someone at Dagenham have scored. Okay, well that's no good. That's not a great start. When a highlight comes up for us though, you'll see what I mean about playing FIFA. Ah, here we go. Look, we've got a highlight. So we're in the white. This player's got the ball here. If I tap this guy on the left wing, he passes the ball to him. Now what I'm going to do is tell my left striker here to dribble forwards by dragging on him. And then I'm going to touch into the space for him. Oh, he's a bit slow. Oh, he's tackled the ball though. Fair enough. So if I hold down and pull a little bit, he dribbles, and then I let go. That was a bit of a panic. I wasn't quite expecting to be asked to take a shot that quickly. But my assistant manager says, oh, you can have another go if you want, lad. I'm sure there's probably microtransactions you to pay to do this all the time if you want to. This one is free for me to do, says my assistant manager. So we'll start again. I think we're in a different place, though. I'm going to pass it up to my right striker up here. And with him, I'm going to dribble towards the penalty area, shoot, keeper makes a save. Right, I am done explaining things to you now. I need to lock in so I can win this game. Okay, on the counter-attack, I think we could go for a dribble here and play the ball to... That was quite good, actually, to be fair. Let's get it out wide over this way. Right, you're going to just sprint towards goal here. You are going to score here for... Oh, he's been tackled. And now you need to pass over there. Right, this is an open goal. Short, if we don't score this... Laura's ringing me right this second. This is the worst time you could possibly ever call me, Laura. Well, I've ignored her. We're too busy doing this. Okay, we've got the ball in an attacking position here. You need to run that way. And you pass it there. I want you to cross the ball. Oh, wrong way. And now we've lost possession here. If we tap on the opposition, it tries to tackle them, which is good. Run there, pass into space. Right, you've got so much room to run into. Shoot. Oh, what an absolute banging goal. We've turned the game around. There's actually a lot of concentration that goes into this game, and I'm not sure I'm cut out for it, if I'm honest with you. Oh, that's perfect. Look at this. This is... Oh, The main thing is we're winning. That's the most important thing right now. And I think we could get a third goal from this position. I want to pass the ball to you. You come inside that way, and I'm going to pass the ball into space here. And he's won it somehow, but not got enough space around him. Back to this man, out wide. Dribble into the penalty area. Shoot. Oh, he's hit the post. Oh, that's agonising. Okay, a bit of dribbling forwards here. Right, pass it forwards to this guy. Brill. You're going to pass it over here into the penalty area. You are going to shoot. Let's post again. We've got one more chance to get a third goal here. We're going to hoof it upfield. You're going to run this way. He's running the other way. So surely this pass into space here is perfect. Right, 1-on-1, bearing down on goal. He's hit the... Oh, we've still got possession. We've still got possession. Right. Shoot. Bang. Saved by the keeper. I'll be honest, we should have had 5 or 6 goals in that game. Luckily, we did win 2-1, so we got 3 points on the board there. The only downside to this game, I feel, is it's going to take a long time to get through seasons, because this has taken a while to get through this one game, right? So I think it does take a bit of time to actually get deep into the game. So in a nutshell, that is New Star Manager. You might recognise the name, actually. If you've ever played New Star Soccer, it's made by the same people that make that game. And to me, that is the greatest football game ever, basically. I love it. So, in fact... I know it's not a management game, but I just kind of want to show you. I remember playing this game so much with my friends back in school, having competing careers. It was so much fun. About a year ago, me and a few friends went to the Rugby World Cup in France, but we were in Lyon and the cheapest way to get there was actually fly to Geneva in Switzerland and get a train over. So I started my career at like a bottom division Swiss team, got a move to Young Boys, played really well there, and then took a big move to Lyon where we were staying, had 2 seasons there. As you can see, I scored 131 goals and 52 appearances in my 4th season. Fantastic stuff. Then got a big move to Barcelona, and then this season I've been playing at Dortmund. And poetically, this game actually is Barcelona, my former club, versus Dortmund in the second leg of the Champions League. Let's get playing this then. Speed on max, kick off. I'm going to make myself focus on attacking play. This game is just amazing. It's very, very simple. Like I'm just dragging to where I want to point the ball to go. Tap in the middle. I promise you, I am good at this game. You saw my stats, right? You saw my stats. I'm not being given many chances in this game, though. Normally, you get a lot more chances. All right, I'm going to take a shot here instead. Bang. Saved by the... Oh, we've been given a penalty. Wonderful stuff. I'm going to shoot and score. At least someone else scored, and it does count as my assist. Now we've got to dribble past the Barcelona players, so I'm just moving the ball around the players, get myself into an attacking position. I'm going to shoot here. Oh, now I'm in a position where I can pass the ball. Because I'm the team captain, I can also move players around a little bit. So we're going to pass into space for that guy there. That should now result in an attacking move for us. Played back into me. Let's take the shot. New Star Soccer, everyone. Great game. Next up is Top 11, which is a really fun online management game. I actually first played Top 11 all the way back when I think it was just a Facebook game back in the day with the boys. I actually found a load of screenshots from that time period as well, and here is me losing the title to my friend Reese. That was frustrating. But because we all came in the top 4, we all qualified for the Champions League the following season. I beat Matt in the quarterfinals, but then Reese beat me in the semi-finals. But luckily for me, he went on to lose the final. If he'd beaten me the season before in the league and then won the Champions League after beating me in the semi-finals, I would still be hearing about it to this day. Since then, it has predominantly become a mobile game, and it looks completely different to what I was used to back in the day. I started up a brand new club, been playing it for a week or so, and it's really hooked me in again. So I've been building this team for the past week or so, signing a few players to make this team really strong to try and win the title in the first season. The beauty about this is you can just put players anywhere you want. There's no real restrictions. So Gunnar, my CDM, I can hold down on him and then just move him literally anywhere, and you can have such granular detail of where you want to put players. So, if I just put him there, I could have a strike. He's out of position, obviously, so let's maybe move like Briggs on instead of him. But we could have a really advanced striker and then more of a deep lying forward maybe, and slightly off-centre both of them. There is so much you can do with this. It's an awful lot of fun. As you can see, all the players have start ratings, so my really good left winger is actually almost a 6-star player. He has got 5 normal stars and then a 6th star as well, which just means he's insanely good. All the attributes are out of percentages for what league you're in, so when we get promoted, hopefully at the end of the season, he will drop from a 6-star player to a 5-star player, and his percentages will drop down in line with what is good for the division above us. Of course, you can train your players, so I've got 24 players at the club by looks of things right now, so I can select all players if I want to, or I can just click the ticks to just choose my goalkeeper and centre backs here to do some training. Or I can select a zone, so if I go for strikers, attacking midfielders and midfielders, confirm that choice there. And then I can go into drills and I can get them to just do specific attacking drills or specific possession drills because I don't really want my strikers to be doing defensive drills. It is kind of similar to New Star Manager in a way because you do have to upgrade your facilities as you go along. So at the moment I'm upgrading my stadium. It's going to take me almost another 24 hours for that to be completed. At the moment it's just a very basic little pitch with not a whole lot going on next to it. But as the upgrade happens it will get bigger with more seats for more fans. We also have our medical facilities, our training facilities, our youth facilities, our utilities to make sure our fans can buy merch from the club basically, and parking, which always seemed like a very weird one to me, but parking is there to make sure you can have enough people turning up to games and have somewhere to park. They do try and push a lot of multiplayer stuff, so if you've got lots of friends that are playing, you can create an association so you can compete head to head with your friends. I have no friends playing this game right now, so I'm not in any association, sadly. There's always loads of events going on as well to help you get bonus items to help your club. You'll see at the top actually, I've got 38 tokens. Tokens is kind of like that in-game currency for you to buy players with or to speed up the construction of your stadium. You've also got boosts to fitness in the green, morale in the blue, and injuries in the red, and of course your actual bank balance of cash at the club too. One downside to this game that I do find is they love to shove some microtransactions down your throat. If you're into that kind of thing, great. If you're not like I am, then you just press exit on them all the time. Like I say, it is a multiplayer game, so everyone in my league right now, I've got 11 other managers in this league with me, and they're all other real people, supposedly. I presume at some levels there's got to be a few bots in there to fill up the gaps and make sure you've got a full league of teams playing. But fundamentally, this should just be other people actually playing against me. So currently I'm top of the table, 5 wins, 1 draw, 15 goals scored and 2 against, not a bad record. And I've actually got the 2 joint top scorers in the league right now and the top assister, so things are looking good for me. Every day your games are at random times. For me, mine's coming up at 23 minutes past 4 in the afternoon. You can change this if you're the home manager, but I assume it probably costs you a token of the in-game currency to do that. So you do have to actively look all the time to see when your games are being played. The one area where this game stands out though is its match engine. Because my game's not live right now, I recorded this one from the other day and it just looks really, really nice for a mobile game. In fact, I don't think you'd think it was a mobile game just looking at it. Personally, I just wish this is how Football Manager, the actual Football Manager game looks, because this is so clean. I think one thing that really helps this game is the lighting. I think the lighting in it is superb, and that's probably making it look a bit nicer than it actually does look. Kind of in a similar way to how FM24 was an upgrade on FM23's match engine, because the lighting was just so much better. But I do think if actual Football Manager looked like this, then it would be game over for all other football games out there. However, I am a graphics guy. I do love some lovely graphics. It's why I always played Battlefield over Call of Duty, because Battlefield just looked a lot prettier. Anyway, I rate Top 11 massively. It's a really good fun game, so go check it out. The next game I want to talk to you about is pretty much the exact same as... The next game I want to talk to you about is really similar to Top 11. It's just got some higher stakes involved. Footium is a football manager game where you use real money to buy a club and players to then compete against other managers who have bought clubs and players to win some cash prizes. So it is pay to play, which I know isn't for everyone, but if you're into that kind of thing, it is actually really rewarding. I do find it a lot of fun. And full disclosure, I have been aware and involved with this game since its very early days. I actually went to school with one of the guys that works on my team. That's how I found out about it in the first place. I've been involved in every playtest and the game is getting towards full launch as well. I'm also involved in their affiliate scheme. So if you are interested and you want to buy a club, for example, link down in the description. I just get a bit of kickback from that. So I own this fictional club called Main Sea City, and in the last playtest, actually, I won the league table. So the league table's still live from the last playtest, which is wonderful. Big fan of that. It just shows that I'm the greatest manager of all time. All the fundamentals of a football manager game are here. So we have a squad of players that all play in different positions. You put them into different tactics to play matches against the other managers in your league. You have a youth academy to promote youngsters through. And then there's a training mechanic where you can improve those players to either keep them in your team or sell them on the transfer market to other managers for real money, which you can then either take out the game or reinvest into building your squad for the future to look for promotions and more success. What really stands out to me about it though is just how social this game is. Obviously, Football Manager at its fundamental level is a single player game, Top 11 is online, but there's not a huge amount of interaction with other managers at all. Footium really try and encourage social interaction. There's a huge Discord server where you can interact with other managers. A lot of it is trying to do deals for players. I'll buy this player off you, or who wants to buy this player that I don't want anymore, for example. I've actually been to 2 Footium community meetups. They were the sponsors, they were the short sponsors of Leyton Orient, which was quite fun. So one meetup, we went to a Leyton Orient game to watch that a couple of seasons ago. And then this past year, we got to play on the pitch at the end of a season in a 5-a-side tournament, which was a lot of fun. My team didn't win, but we had a great time doing so. Now, there are a few downsides to Footium still. It's still in an early stage of development, and it's a very small team making the game. So, for example, all these players are rated out of 100 right now. My best player is rated 55 out of 100. But there's not a huge indication yet as to what actually goes into making that number, other than he's got 64 stamina and 69 leadership. But I am keen on keeping this guy because he's got 35 potential, which means he can grow by an extra 35 spots. He's actually grown by 1 already from the training that we did in the playtesting. He's got 4 more unlocked potential. If you play your players more, they unlock more potential, which is quite a sensible mechanic, I think. So this guy actually could get up to 89 rated, which is one of the highest in the game. But all I know, he's very good at being a striker, but is he a really good striker because he can shoot really well, or is it because he's really tall and can head the ball really well? That needs to be fleshed out a little bit more. And the tactical side right now is limited to more of just picking a shape and going with it, essentially. So there's loads of different formations you can pick, and they are adding more. They keep teasing more formations in the Discord that they're going to add to things. But in terms of like actually the tactical changes here, it's at the moment just mentality. I can go defensive, less defensive, through the middle, attacking, or ultra attacking. I'm sure there'll be more customization options coming soon, but for now it is a little bit limited. Because it's PvP with real people, there are set times every single day for you to play your matches, but it's the same time for every match in your league, which is quite nice. Currently they have a basic match engine which gives you an idea of which team is on the attack and where the ball is on the pitch. There's also some text commentary talking you through how the game is unfolding, and of course you can access things like the match stats and make tactical changes and substitutes whenever you want. But again, it's another area that I know the team are working very hard on to make it a little bit more visually appealing for you guys to enjoy during an actual match. Now, I did mention there are cash prizes when you play Footium, and that is one of the things that really makes it stand out compared to other games. For Season 1, the prize pool is currently around $90,000. The prize pool itself is made up of money people put into the game. So the more money people put in, the bigger the prize pool is. If no one puts any money in, there's no prize pool pretty much. So if you buy a player on the transfer market for 20 quid from another manager, a portion of that transfer fee goes towards the prize pool. So as I say, this game isn't quite for everyone. It is pay to play. It's still lacking a few features here and there. The onboarding isn't the easiest thing in the world either right now because you need digital wallets to set it all up. But if you do like the sound of things and it is maybe your thing, then there is an affiliate link like I mentioned in the description for you to go and check out. So next up, I want to show you Sorare, which is a fantasy football game that I've been obsessed with since late 2021 when I started playing. Recently, I've been really into their free-to-play Rivals game mode, which is what I want to talk to you guys about today. Sorare is essentially a global fantasy football game. They have 12 fully licensed leagues, which is really cool, and including partnerships with individual clubs, they have 317 licensed teams, and they cover 58 competitions around the world. So that includes the Premier League, La Liga, Serie A, Bundesliga, the French Ligue 1. Most leagues that have Opta stats, they will be covering, basically. The reason they need these in-depth stats on players is because the scoring matrix for Sorare is the best scoring matrix I've ever seen for any fantasy football game. Let's use Antonio Silva here, for example, the wonder kid centre-back from Benfica. Here are all of his scores from every game that he's played from December last year onwards. You can go back even further if you want to February 2023, but we're just looking at the most recent ones here. Every player gets a score out of 100, so as you can see, on multiple occasions, he's got pretty close to 100 points. That maximum of 100 points is made up of 2 different scores, a decisive score and an all-around score. The decisive score is made up of decisive actions, such as scoring a goal or getting an assist, and that gives your player extra points. However, they can lose points if they have a negative decisive impact in the game. For example, if they get sent off, that's negative for your team, so you lose some points. So looking at Antonio Silva, when he has scored some really big scores like this 98 here, that's because you can see right at the bottom here, he got a decisive score for a last man tackle. More recently, you can see he scored a goal and he got an assist in some recent games for Benfica, so that gave his score a big boost. However, there are other game weeks where he's not had any decisive actions but has scored really highly. For example, this game here where he scored 81 points without any decisive action. Here you can see he got 46.5 points for just playing well in that game from various different angles. So in terms of his defending, he kept a clean sheet which got him 10 extra points. He made 3 effective clearances which got him 1.5 points. He won 1 tackle which got him 3 points. He blocked a cross which got him a point. If we look at his passing, for example, he had 48 accurate passes which got him 3.84 extra points. He made 9 long passes into the opposition half and that got him 4.5 points. So unlike other fantasy football games where you only really score big points if your player scores a goal or gets an assist, with Sorare there is so much more that goes into it, and even if they don't have a decisive action in a game, if they just play well, they're likely going to score pretty highly. So now you understand the point a little bit better, let's talk about Sorare Rivals. In Rivals, you choose a match, pick 5 players from either team, and then go 1v1 against another person who has entered a team from that match. For this example, we're going to pick a team between Kawasaki Frontale and Nagata over in the J1 League in Japan. Now, typically, I would never play in Japan because I know nothing about the Japanese leagues. I don't know which players are in form, I don't know who's been doing that well recently, so it could put me at a disadvantage if I come up against a J1 League expert. So I think I'm likely to lose this one. Just get those excuses in nice and early, Tom, that's alright. So how Sorare Rivals work is you pick 5 players to form your fantasy team. 1 goalkeeper, 1 defender, 1 midfielder, 1 forward, and then an extra player from any position. You can have all 5 players from the same team, you can have 4 from one and 1 from the other, or 3 from one and 2 from the other, any combination you want. However, you do have to be tactical. For this match, we have a points cap of 240. So looking at the Kawasaki Frontale strikers who are starting this game, they are valued at 53 points, 48 points and 41 points. Basically, each player costs what their average score is across their last 15 appearances. So across Marcinho's last 15 games, he's averaged 53 points. So really you'd think it's a no-brainer to pick him over Erison, who scored only 41 points over his last 15 games. But we can get a little bit more information by clicking on these little bars next to the players, and that brings up a much more detailed view of their last 15 games. So actually you can see on average, he doesn't score that well, but when he does get a goal or an assist, as you can see from these green marks here, he does score pretty well in those games. So that is bringing up his average quite nicely. So unless he does score in this game, it's unlikely he's going to get anywhere near his average of 51 points by looks of things. Looking over at the Nagata players who are playing away from home today, they actually seem to be a lot more consistent recently with scoring high points. For example, this striker is in form. He's got a few goals and assists in his last 7 games or so there. But previously to that, he did actually score 3 goals in a row there, so I think this guy could be a better option for us. We've also got the choice of his other strike partner here, who scored 2 goals in his last 3, scored very well, he's in form obviously. I'm more tempted to go for one of the strikers from this team because of how well they've scored in recent weeks. Just to try and save some points for other positions, let's go for Nagakura right now to play up front for us. Looking at the midfielders, we've got more options from Nagata than we do from Kawasaki Frontale, and actually this guy here has got an average of 41 points in his last 15 games. He's not played much recently. He's been on the bench once, not been selected in the team, so he's not very match sharp. I'm not going to pick him. That to me suggests that maybe it's a slightly weaker team for Kawasaki Frontale, which means that Nagata may be more likely to win. So I am more inclined to pick one of these players, particularly this chap here. He's got 2 goals in his last 3 games, and actually the games where he's not scored particularly well, it's when he's come off the bench. The games where he's scored goals, he's been starting. Plus his last 15 is only 43, which does save us some points to spend big in other positions. I am leaning more towards a Nagata win here, so actually in terms of the 2 keepers, I'm going to go for Nagata. I feel like they are maybe just that little bit more likely to keep a clean sheet. So now we've got 99 points left for 2 positions, so we have to be careful here with the defenders. And actually, so as much as I really want to go for Michael James here, his score is 58. If we pick him, we only have 41 points to pick for our final position. And actually looking through Nagata's team here, there is 1 player starting that we could use who's under 41 points. but he's a bit more of a rotation player by looks of things. Has come off the bench a few times, hasn't started a few games, and when he does play, his average scores aren't that great. So going back to the defenders here, if we get rid of Michael James, potentially it might be better to look at Thomas Deng here. He's not a regular starter. He's often on the bench in the last few weeks, potentially coming back from a knock that he sustained on international duty maybe. But going further back, he has got a history of scoring pretty well, so maybe he just needs to hit the right bit of form. So I'm going to take a gamble and I'm going to pick this guy. And that then gives me up to 54 points to pick our final player. And we spoke about Nagata's forwards being in form. Well, that gives me enough points to be able to pick another one of their forwards who has scored goals recently and got an assist in his previous game. So Taniguchi is going to be our final player here. Now, there is one more element to all of this and an extra way for you to score points. Down here at the bottom, we can pick different tactics to help us score more points. So currently we are set to tiki-taka. On average, this team that I've picked makes 156 accurate passes per game. If they make 130 in the match, they get an extra 10 points, 170 an extra 20 points, and 220 an extra 40 points. Right now, my team is not predicted to do very well in terms of passing the ball around. Instead, we could try Yoga Bonito, which is the amount of contests won by these players, but as you can see, they aren't particularly good at winning contests, so that is not an option I want to pick. All-out attack, though, could be an option. In terms of shots on target, they average 4.1 per game. If they average 5, we're going to get 40 bonus points. And because their strikers seem to be in form right now, we've picked 2 forwards, this could be quite a nice little move for us. We haven't picked many defensive players, so park the bus probably isn't the best move for us. But maybe if you pick 2 centre-backs, or if you pick a striker who gets back to defend corners and clears the ball quite well, that could be a good option, but we're not going to use it. And there's also Gegenpress, which is the amount of duels they win per game, and there's a good likelihood actually that they'll win a lot of duels in this match. I predict it's going to be quite close. However, I'm going to back our strikers. The option I'm going to use is all-out attack. So fingers crossed they have 5 shots on target. That's what I'm hoping for right now. And that team is now confirmed. Luckily, we've got 3 minutes before kickoff happens, so fingers crossed. We're going to come back to this game at the end of the video to find out how we've done and hopefully we have beaten our rival. Next up, we have Football Chairman. And I'm actually playing Football Chairman 2, which I paid £4 for from the App Store. And I think it was a waste of money because it's no different, I don't think, from the original Football Chairman, which is free on the App Store. So if I was you, just get the free version. Anyway, in Football Chairman, you create your own club. So I've got Lincoln Athletic here. You might be thinking, Tom, why is it not called Lincoln Athletic? Well, let me tell you. Back in the day when me and the boys would play pro clubs on like FIFA 11 and FIFA 12, our pro club, we wanted to call it Lincoln Athletic. But the character limit meant there couldn't be a C on the end. There were too many characters for Lincoln Athletics. So we were just always Lincoln Athletic. So I am quite a few seasons deep into this now. As you can see, you start off in non-League C, and we actually got ourselves promoted to non-League B in Season 3. But then we were immediately relegated, which wasn't great. But then we won the league title in non-League C, and then we had a very good first season back in non-League B. Obviously, the idea is to keep progressing all the way up with your club to the Premier League and win everything. Now, because you're the chairman, you don't actually do an awful lot, to be fair. You're in charge of making upgrades to your stadium, for example, so we could improve the North Stand and just keep upgrading that massively, and actually could get it quite big. Wow, we get this massive, this North Stand, if we want to. The issue is that would cost us 40 million, and we don't have 40 million to do that. We actually have £53,000 in the bank account, so a little bit to grow until then. It's the same thing with the training facilities and stuff like that. You can make these really nice to get your players to the top level they possibly could be, but again, that's going to cost us £86 million to do that all in one go. We can't afford that. We don't really have much control over the squad either. Your main role with the squad actually is to sort out contract negotiations. No one's actually got an expiring contract, which is interesting. But you can set players up to be sold or available for loan or just release them. But I think it does cost quite a bit of money to release a player. You've got to pay out their contract essentially. Obviously, one of your big things is to fire the manager if they're not doing very well. Now, this guy's doing pretty well for us at the moment, but if we wanted to, we could just sack the manager as the bottom option there. In fact, can we just see if there's any better available managers right now? Not that I want to sack him, but by looks of things, see this guy, Ian Wilkinson, or I Wilkinson, I just assumed his name was Ian. He's 65 years old, he probably is called Ian. He's a much better manager in terms of his attributes here. So actually, I'd be kind of tempted to bring him in, but the current guy's doing very well, and we're only at the very start of the season. Oh, but by doing that, I've upset the manager. Oh, no. Okay, well, Look, Gibson's going to be fine. You just stay at the job, keep winning games, you won't be sacked. So our next game is away at St Albans. And in terms of the match, you don't really do anything. Our team is lining up in a 3-4-3 because that's what my manager likes to play, so we're kind of stuck with that. It doesn't really change from match to match at all. Unfortunately, St Albans have just scored the first goal of the game, which is not what we wanted to see. And the second goal as well. That's still... I don't think this video is really highlighting that I'm particularly good at games. I think I've messed things up quite a bit when I was playing New Star Manager, New Star Soccer. We've pulled one back here. I'd like to get us a win here, a 3-2 win. That would really help me. And there we go. There's a second goal. We are 72 minutes on the clock. We just need a third... Oh, St Albans. That's frustrating. But what about, can we make a last gasp comeback for a 3-3 draw? No, we lose 3-2. Cahill in the middle there with a 5 rating was not particularly good. So there's the other results in our division. Lots of wins and losses for various different teams. In the league table, that puts us down to 20th in the table after 4 league games. We've had a poor start to this season. Last season, we finished 9th and we're like, wow, we're on the upward trajectory here. We've not really done very well at this point. So because we're playing away from home, we've lost £2,000 there because we've had no money coming in for ticket sales or anything like that. And now players are starting to criticise my manager because apparently his training methods are having a negative impact on his skill level. That's because he's a 41 rated player and my manager is only 40 rated. So at this point we have to start thinking, is this manager the guy to take us forwards? Because actually, he's not as good as our squad is. Our squad rating is higher than our manager rating. The beauty of this game, though, is that you can just kind of spam through things really quickly. You can get through seasons very quickly. I'll show you how quickly you can get through things. Our next game is against Boreham Wood. We'll play that. Rather than press kickoff, I can just press skip to the end. And we lost 1-0. That's frustrating. That's really annoying. Look at the league table, down to 21st, not great. We now have to travel to Chelmsford and the non-league trophy in the next game. And we're back to the start menu, the next game. Let's play it against Chelmsford, skip to the end. We lost. I'm not going to stop playing this until we win a game. So let's just keep spamming through everything. Oh, we made some money there, I think, but we won an away game. Lovely. So that's an important 3 points on the board for us there, and that brings us out the relegation zone on to 7 points. Amazing. That was away from home, so we lost money. Let's just see how much money we make from a home game. This player is praising the club facilities. That's because he's 42 rated, but our training facilities are 45 rated. It's lovely. Right, get into the game. Let's see how much we lost the game, frustratingly, but we made £6,000. Wow, we made a lot of money from that. I did a big stadium upgrade before this video started a few days ago, actually, so I think we're getting tons of ticket money coming through. And to be honest with you, that's kind of just what the game is. It's just fun. You just kind of build a narrative with this team that you've built. Try and get up the leagues. It's frustrating. It does take some time to actually get up the leagues. You need to have a very good squad to be able to get promoted consistently. I don't think you're ever going to have a situation like Wrexham in recent years, for example. They've had, is it 2 or 3 promotions in a row? Yeah, I don't think you can have that in this game. But the beauty of it is you can just progress very quickly season to season. It's just going to take a bit of time to get yourself up to the Premier League. Oh, it is really addictive as well. I meant to just record a bit of an outro there, but I've just been spamming my way through this game. Oh, we just lost to work. We just actually had been on a winning run. I promise you we'd just been on a winning run. Because look, we're up to 17th in the table now, so things were going well. Look, there we go. A 3-0 win against Brackley. That's what we want to see. We are starting to pick up some steam now in the league. We're only 7 points off the playoffs. It's not far off at all, actually. Oh, and now we're in the first round of the FA Cup. We won our qualifying round game. We got Bristol Rovers at home. We're not going to beat Bristol Rovers. I really don't think this is going to happen. But we have sold out the stadium. The stadium capacity is 1,600. Bristol Rovers beat us 3-0, fair enough, but we're going to make so much money out of that. So much money. Come on, show me that 20,000 we made in ticket sales. And that means we're up to what? How much money now? 91,000 in the bank accounts. I love this game. Right, now it's time to see how we got on in that Sorare Rivals match. Oh. So, I spent all of that time justifying why I was picking players and talking you through the tactics behind everything, thinking I was a genius. Kawasaki Frontale smashed Nagata 5-1. My keeper has got a score of 3. I've never seen a score that low. Like, genuinely. What did he do? Oh, he obviously conceded 3 goals more, and he gave away a penalty, which really dropped his decisive score, and then he was just rubbish throughout the rest of the game. Like, what's he done here to get minus 24 points? Oh, 5 goals conceded is 15 points, and... oh, dear me. So the keeper's done terribly. The strikers did terribly as well. They had 1 shot on target between them, which is not great. And then my opponent picked players all playing for Kawasaki Frontale instead. One of them got a goal too. In fact, he got 2 goals, to be fair. The difference here, though, would have been, right, if I'd picked the exact same team as this guy, but I'd said, all-out attack, we're going to get shots on target. The fact this guy scored 2 goals means he had 2 shots on target. That would have given me the win because he's not got the bonus for getting 130 passes, but I would have got the bonus for 2 shots on target. So you can see where the tactical things fit in. It's just that I'm rubbish at the game, apparently. I am absolutely terrible. Anyway, if you are interested in playing Sorare Rivals, it is ridiculously, infuriatingly addictive. You can sign up for it via my link in the description. Would really appreciate it. So this video ended up being a little longer than I expected, purely because I just love playing all these games and wanted to show them to you. What didn't take as long though is the worst Football Manager mobile games. These are the worst rated ones I could find on the App Store, and some of them aren't as bad as you might think they are. Go check the video out and see for yourself, maybe give them a try as well, and let me know what you think.